Aloha, everyone. Jody Mountain here with Lineage of Light and more of the Ancient Wisdom series. So the question has popped up in my head over the last little while. Why is ancient wisdom, indigenous wisdom important? Wasn't it stuff that happened and was discovered maybe millennia ago, thousands and thousands of years ago? And what does that have to do with us here today in this modern world? Well, for me, much of the foundation of the ancient wisdom that I've been privileged to be in touch with has to do with just life itself. And even though many things have changed in our history, in our society, in our environment, how we live, how we operate, what's popular, what's not popular, has changed and changed and changed again. The thing that remains the same, constant, and yet ever changing is this life that we are. And if you notice that no matter what happens on our earth, that the earth remains and the sun still rises the next morning. So nature continues in the best way that it can, in its own rhythm, in its own creation, and that same creation is happening inside of us. And not only is that creation happening inside of us, that creation itself is alive. So in that sense, if you can imagine that 100 trillion cells of your body, approximately, are awake and alive with consciousness itself. And if we were even just to imagine that for a moment, that it was more than just this sophisticated machinery, that it was actually life force that has intelligence and has consciousness. When we start opening up to that life, imagining that these were other beings or conscious beings, that life starts to understand that it is now being heard, and we can start to move and work and live and heal in cooperation with life, rather than in this demanding that this body continually do what I say, that I get to just drag it around all the time, that I'm now working in cooperation with that life force. So that's one aspect, one principle that has served me a lot in my life, is recognizing that not only is everything alive, but that everything includes everything inside me. And that includes all levels of my being, not just my cellular system. My emotions, my memories, my hopes, my dreams, my sensations, my perceptions. And so as we start to relate to everything in the context of life, it being alive, it just brings a whole different perspective to bear. It brings respect, it brings more listening, it brings more potential for that life to act and to expand in the way that is in alignment with spirit itself, in alignment with creation itself. So it's like having a magical being inside of us that we basically just tell what to do, and that you better take out the garbage now. Oh, you're not feeling well, you better start feeling better so that I can get my stuff done. And this magical being that the body is just does our bidding, really. We do have this mind that can hope to be in control of what it can be in control of. But ultimately, if we've ever been sick, and we've ever been laid up with something, we recognize that sometimes, no matter how hard we think about it, we're not going to get better until the body decides it's getting better, or until it receives something that it needs, that it's asking for, and then we can start to heal up. So what if we were to then open up and recognize this magical being for the being that it is, and ask it to guide us, ask it for information, ask it for possibilities, and then listen. To me, the cells of my body and this life force in me are much, much wiser than anything that my mind could come up with, because this is creation itself. This is creation in action. The fact that you can breathe, that you can see, that you can feel, that you can relate, that you can speak, if we're lucky enough to be able to do such things. This is creation itself. As long as we're alive, this creation is this conscious active force moving through us. And we usually just don't listen to that because we're not taught that this is something valuable. We're taught that this is ours to manipulate. And so that's what I would offer for you today, this magical being that you are, just in taking this breath that's happening right now. That's magic. As you breathe, you're breathing into 600 million tiny sacs in your lungs. And you and I could not do that. If we tried, we couldn't figure that out. But creation itself is moving in us, is operating in us. And what a gift that is. I'll leave that with you for today. Aloha, everyone.